Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad, and what we have here is the Carlbros CB40 Regenerative Jump Starter. And today we're going to unbox this bad boy, take a detailed close look at it, fully test it out, and see if it might be something you need to pick up as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. When you pick this up, it's going to show up on your doorstep in a box just like this. Let's get it opened up, check it out. And here's everything that was inside the package, including a quick start guide, a user guide, AC power adapter, and of course our Carlbros jump box itself. Now let's go ahead and take a little closer look at our user guide. Now a ton of great information here with both pictures and info, so make sure you read through this thoroughly before using. A couple things I want to point out though, it does show you what the different buttons mean, also the interface display. Then we get down here to our 5-step process for using this as a jump starter. It does go into some detail about the override function. And as we turn this over, you've got your standard warnings here. Then they do cover the Carlbros 1-year limited warranty along with customer support information. And we've got some technical specs down at the bottom. Now, besides our regular user guide, they also throw in this nice little single sheet quick start guide that covers a lot of that same information here on the back. Now, as we take a little closer look at the unit itself, solid one-piece construction, definitely heavy duty, weighing in at just under 20 pounds. At the top, we're going to have our 6 different control buttons as well as our display screen. And right below that, we've got a couple covers. The first one is going to be for our AC adapter to charge. And this one over here has 2 USB-A ports for outbound charging. And as we remove this sticker right here, we've also got ourselves a 5,000 lumen LED light. As we turn the unit to its side, you will see we've got a couple of holders to wrap the clamps around. And on the back, each of the clamps has these little kind of sockets here where you can attach when you're not using it. Now the clamps themselves are going to be very heavy duty and well put together, and our cables are 4 AWG wire. Now when it comes to the size of the jump box, it's going to measure out to about 13 inches wide by about 5 3/4 inches thick and about 13.5 inches tall. And the cables are going to measure out to about 26.5 inches. As we take a look at our 6 different buttons as well as our display screen here, right up here we have our power. We'll one-click that to show our display screen. And when not connected, a couple things I want to point out that the display screen shows. Number one, this percentage here is going to be the percent of charge of your internal battery. So as you can see, we're at 26%. And down here, we have the voltage of the internal battery when disconnected. Now this will also flash when it needs to be recharged. Now to turn this off, we simply do a 2-second hold on the power button and our display screen comes off. Now the next button we have here is our heating button, and this is kind of interesting because if the internal temperature of this battery unit itself is lower than 5 degrees Celsius, which comes out to about 41 degrees Fahrenheit, you can turn on this heating button and it will heat the overall unit. Now a heating icon will blink when it's active, and it will actually heat it up to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 25 degrees Celsius, and it keeps the unit at that temperature for 10 minutes, and then it'll automatically shut off. Now right below that, we're going to have this little light bulb, which is going to be our flashlight function. Now this actually has 5 different modes, including 100%, 50%, 10%, a flashing strobe, and then we have an SOS function as well. To turn this on, we'll simply hit the power first, push the button once, that's 100%, 50%, 10%, strobe, SOS. One more time, we turn it off. Now this 5,000 lumen flashlight could come in real handy in a roadside emergency where you needed to change a tire or signify somebody for help. Over on this side, we're going to have 3 other buttons here. This top one and this bottom one are going to be your 12 volt or your 24 volt selector. Now this thing should automatically detect the voltage and display it here, but you do have these options as well. And our last button here is going to be our override button. Now you should rarely, if ever, even need to use this. I'll kind of point out our little quick start guide here. This thing is designed to start batteries all the way down as low as 0.3 volts. And so if you did use the override, you would really only have 2 different scenarios. Number one, you need to jumpstart a vehicle battery below 0.3 volts. Or number two, you need to jumpstart a vehicle that doesn't have an actual battery. Hitting this button is going to override all of the different protections there. So again, we'll probably never even need to use that. And the last thing we'll cover before we get this thing all charged up is using this as a power bank. Now, internally, this has a 12,800 mAh power bank, and it's got two of these 5-volt, 2.1 amp output ports. Now, we went ahead and plugged in both our iPad and our Garmin watch. We'll go ahead and hit the power button, and you'll see we're charging both the watch and the iPad. Now we are supposed to fully charge this thing before we go use it. So we'll go ahead and use our wall adapter. And this thing's going to be probably about 5 feet long. We'll plug it in the front right here and plug this into our wall. After plugging in, you will see the light come on the display screen, and it's going to show us the percentage right there. We'll go ahead and time it, see how long it takes. All right, so it took us about 3 hours to get this thing fully charged in the maintenance mode. You'll see our voltage quit blinking. Shows us 100% up there. So let's go ahead and get this thing disconnected. Go test it out. Now, lucky for us, we've got a couple different vehicles we got to jump start today. First off is this 2010 Chrysler Town Country. Go ahead and show you. We got absolutely nothing in here. Now we're going to make sure we follow these instructions to a T today. So the first thing you want to make sure is that your key ignition is in the off position. You don't have headlights on or anything like that. Now the next thing we want to do is go ahead and power the unit on before connecting any cables. We want to check our current battery level and make sure our voltage isn't blinking. Everything looks good to go. We're currently at 100%. So now we'll power the unit back off, and we'll get our cables connected. And we're going to connect our red to our positive here, our black to our negative. So go ahead and take that off there. Now we're connected, but nothing is powered up yet until we hit the power button here. So when we do this, we're going to look for a couple different things on here. Hit power. First off, it's going to show us the voltage of the battery right now. It's going to show us what the battery percentage is. This little circle right here means that our cables are connected correctly, and it automatically selected the 12 volt for us, so we don't need to worry about hitting the 12 or the 24 volt. So everything looks good. We can go ahead and try to start our car. We're back in business. Now for the regenerative feature in this, we're going to go ahead and leave this connected for about 40 seconds, and that's going to recharge our battery to what should be up to 100%. So it's been about 40 seconds. You'll see we're back at 100%. Voltage on the battery, 14.3 volts. We'll go ahead and power this off. Now we can take our cables off. Now this jump box does have a lot of safety precautions built into it. So once you remove your cables from your actual terminals, it actually will shut itself down. And we've got ourselves spark protection, reverse polarity protection to make sure we don't short circuit or do anything like that. Let's go ahead and get this thing wrapped up and move on to a little bit bigger one. Next up, we got a dead battery here in this E450 Super Duty motorhome. This does have a Triton V10 gas engine in it. Go ahead and see how this does here. Go ahead and put the key in here, see if we got anything. This one won't even turn over, no dash lights or anything like that. Let's get it hooked up. Now before we hook this up, let's go ahead and hit our power. You'll see we're back at 100%. And our voltage inside here, 28.8 volts. Let's go ahead and shut it off, and we'll get hooked up. Black to negative, red to positive. Now we go ahead and jump this time. I'm going to leave the camera right here so you can see the screen throughout the whole process. So we go ahead and hit the power button. You're going to see real quickly what the battery is actually at. You'll see a 3 volt. And it's going to snap in. Now it's showing we're giving 14 volts. We're at 100%. We've got the 12 volt hookup, so we don't have to mess with any of that. And that little circle there means that our terminals are set up correctly. Let's go start this thing. All right. Now you can see we're already at 100%. If I go ahead and disconnect these, it automatically shuts that down. And I can go ahead and power that off as well. All right, after testing this thing out on our minivan as well as our V10 motorhome here, let's go ahead and hit the power button. And it's good to see we're still at 100%. Now, one thing we didn't get to test out today is our temperature heater right here. And I did take a little screenshot here to show you to where that would be located on the screen. So if you were using this in pretty cold conditions and it showed that heating, we would simply hit our little temperature button there to warm this up. Again, it would stay warm for 10 minutes and make everything easier to jump. Now, another thing I noticed is we didn't need to use our 12 volt or our 24 volt selector. Every time we connected this thing in, it automatically selected the 12 volt batteries we were jumping. And finally, our motorhome battery today was down to just 3 volts when we first put this on. Again, this thing says it will jump anything as low as 0.3 volts before you would even need to look at using this override button. So I'd say there's going to be a very rare occurrence where you'd actually need to use the override settings. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the Carlbros CB40 Regenerative Jump Starter. So to close this video out, here's my 3 takeaways. Number 1, this thing is compatible with both 12 volt and 24 volt batteries. And the fact that it's got 18,000 amps of cranking power means this thing can pretty much start any rig or vehicle you have out there. And number 2, I like the fact that this thing features a LiFePO4 battery, which means it's going to last about 4 times longer than any of your standard lead acid jump starters. And number 3, and probably most important, is just the fact that this thing is regenerative, so you're not going to run out of power no matter how many vehicles that you need to jump. Most jump boxes I have, they're great in a pinch because they can jump start your vehicle, but then you want to make sure that you get them back on the charger and get them boosted up back to 100%. With this thing recharging itself within 40 seconds, you can jump a lot of vehicles in a little amount of time. And it's for those reasons and more, I'm going to go ahead and give this bad boy a world's greatest dad thumbs up, and I say, go out and get you one. Hey, one more thing before you go. I want to let you know that the company behind this Carlbros CB40 jump starter is a big fan of the world's greatest dad's in-depth and informational videos. Therefore, about a month ago, they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this product for video review purposes. Now, with that being said, all the thoughts and opinions expressed in this video were my own, and I always do my best to accurately describe any product I review. Now, I hope this video helped you out. We'll see you next time.